Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So Dune Part 2 is being hailed as a masterpiece, as one of the greatest films to come out in the last 10 years. And so we're going to be taking a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, which just came out. Now, you may be wondering, if you did see my previous video was a first reactions video for Dune Part 2, where I took a look at some of the first social media reactions that were coming out of the premiere. But a lot more have come out since then, and we finally got the Rotten Tomatoes score for Dune Part 2, which is currently sitting at a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes for a critic score with 144 reviews, which is astounding. Like, that is incredible. And some of these reviews are just like, it's just so hard to believe. Like, I haven't heard reviews this great for a massive film in such a long time. So let's take a look at the critics' consensus, which states, visually thrilling and narratively epic, Dune Part 2 continues Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of the beloved sci-fi series in spectacular form. So very positive, like overwhelmingly positive. A 97 with 144 reviews is just incredible. I mean, the film is yet to have a wide release yet. I'm seeing it next Thursday. With this video is being recorded on a Sunday. So yeah, next Thursday is when I'm seeing it. I'm very excited. I'm honestly so excited. Like, I didn't love the first Dune. I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm gonna rewatch it before I watch Dune Part 2, definitely sometime this week. But yeah, I enjoyed the first Dune. I did just find it a little bit slow and it was really cerebral, which I found a little bit hard to get into, but for the most part, I really did enjoy it. And even, I'm that excited about this film that I've even started reading the book. I bought the book and I've actually started to read it, but I'm going to stop myself and I'll wait until after Dune Part 2 to read it because I don't want to spoil anything. But, yeah, so this is insane. So taking a look at the or comparing it rather to the Rotten Tomatoes score for Dune Part 1, which was an 83% critic score and a 90% audience score. That's nearly a 20% difference for critics versus, for Dune Part 2 versus Dune Part 1 difference. Which, you know, there were a few people who actually didn't like Dune 1 and people who were more on my side of like, it's really good, but it just is like, sometimes it can be a bit slow, it can drag a little bit. That's just me though, like, and I know there are a few other people who think like that. That's why it sits on an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes for Dune 1. It even says in the critics consensus that it moves admittedly slow for the that was for the audience one, but also the critics one says it occasionally struggles with its unwieldy source material. So yeah, Dune 1 was, so many people love that film, and it is a great film, but it was more, there were some people who did find it a little bit slower, but Dune Part 2 appears to be like just on another level, and from all the reviews I've seen, it really picks up pace, which I'm so excited about. So let's take a look at a few of the official reviews that are coming out from Rotten Tomatoes. Now this one comes from The New Republic, which is a top critic, and this says, Denis Villeneuve's sequel captures the bleakness and the tragedy at the heart of Frank Herbert's novel. So very positive. Yeah, a lot of these are really overwhelmingly positive. They don't go into depth with it, but just like pretty much saying they loved it, right? Taking a look at this next one from Breakfast All Day, which is another top critic. They say there is an emotional depth to it that's missing in the world building of the initial installment. So again, saying it levels up from the first one, which again, I was saying I was more excited about because I didn't love the first one. But taking a look at this next one, another positive, another fresh tomato from a top critic, and this one states, it rivals 2015's Mad Max Fury Road as a staggering, monumental achievement in genre filmmaking and reminds us what truly talented movie directors can do. So again, very positive. I mean, this is like crazy. There are people that are calling it a masterpiece, that are saying that it was that it's one of the best films to come out in the last 10 years, which is just such incredibly high praise for a massive blockbuster like this. Like, it really is. And also, speaking of massive blockbuster, it actually wasn't even made for that much money. I think it was a $140 million budget, which is huge, but for a film of this scale, you would think it would be much larger, especially because films nowadays are having like $300 million budgets, which is just out of proportion. That's ridiculous. But yeah, for a film that, the first one I think only made about $400 million, right? Either 400 or 6 million. It's one of those. But that was also released day and date on streaming. So $400 million for a film that was released day and date is actually pretty great. But I can only imagine what this one's going to do, especially with these fantastic reviews. I think word of mouth is going to carry this all the way to the billion. Honestly, I would guess that it's going to make $1 billion. I mean, the stars themselves are insane. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh. I know she has a smaller role in the film, but people love Florence Pugh. So Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista, Rebecca Ferguson, Stellan Skarsgård, Austin Butler, I forgot to mention, Christopher Walken, I mean, just so many. Javier Bardem, so many talented actors in this film. I think it's going to make it to the billion, which I'm very, very, very excited about. But you know, could all this just be like, could it come out and could the audiences not respond to it? Like, is that a possibility? I'm wondering. That's why I wanted to make this video. Is that, you know, is all this is this reflective of what the audience would think? I'm wondering if it is a possibility that it could come out and just not connect with audiences. Like, we have seen that happen before, where audiences and critics have such a disconnect. Like, it has happened with so many films where the audience and critics' responses to the films are just polar opposites. Is that going to happen with this film? I don't think it will, but I think it is an interesting question to pose. And we will see. All questions will be answered when it comes out next week. Will it make a billion? Will it be as good as the critics are saying it is? I truly hope it is. Like, I am actually really excited. I have not been this excited for a film in a long time. Like, this excitement that I'm feeling right now sort of reminds me of how I felt about, like, massive Marvel films that were coming out years ago. Like, you know, the Infinity Wars, the End Games, the, you know, Civil Wars, things like that. That's the excitement I'm feeling at this point. Like, not as excited because those were massive films, but definitely on, like, you know, getting up to that level. Like, it's really good to be so excited about a film again. I haven't been this excited about a film in a while because the reviews for a massive film like this have not been like this phenomenal in such a long time. And so yeah, I'm very excited to see it, and I'm also really hoping it's successful because I'd be very interested to see Dune Messiah. From what I hear, it's very interesting and I'd love to see that adapted. But anyway, so yeah, that's it for this video. I did just want to get on here and talk about Dune Part 2. Is it a masterpiece? Is it gonna make a billion? Are the audience gonna agree with the critics? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on all those topics I just mentioned. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not already, make sure you like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.